Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another day of G1 Champions League action. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and we are going to cast our second to last match of the Asian qualifier. It's down to 3 teams now. Things have started to get very, very interesting. And unfortunately, even though there are 3 teams remaining, all of whom are very deserving of a spot in the LAN Finals, only one of them can secure a spot in those LAN Finals. So before we dive into the draft, let's take a look at the brackets. Right now, it's LGD, China, who have already secured a spot in the LAN Finals. So they're done right now for this stage of the tournament. They will be there later on in the coming months. We have Team Zenith, LGD International, and DK, your 3 remaining teams. This match today between LGD International and Team DK. Loser is done. They're so close, yet so far. The winner moves on to face Team Zenith tomorrow, and the winner of that match will then qualify for the LAN Finals as the final representative from the Asia region. With all that being said, I'm LD, and I'm joined here by Winter.
Hi.
Hi, you got a new mic. Hopefully it works well.
Yeah. God say it's okay, but I don't know.
You sound beautiful as ever.
Is it better than the old one?
It's hard for me to say. It feels a little harsh, but it is what it is, I guess. So for this game, we'll just roll with it. If it's really bad, maybe we could change it over the break, but it seems okay so far.
All right.
So Winter, good to have you back. Now, the last time that these 2 teams met was a while ago. It was back during the G League group stages. During that stage, DK actually took the series 2-1.
Yeah, but today I think LGD would have the slighter edge, in my opinion, because of the recent games. I don't think DK has been playing up to their full potential at all.
Yeah, DK is one of those teams where you look at this roster, and especially when you have players like Burning, Super, and Dai, 3 of the most famous players from all of China, 3 of the most accomplished players from China, you have to look at them and say, they have all the talent that any team could ever want. But where are the results? Since they've made their roster changes, they just don't have the results. Now, granted, in G League, they had 1 bad performance in the group stage. That was versus 4Love. They came out flat. They lost the series 0-2, and because they didn't even win a game, there was no chance for them to advance via tiebreakers to the playoffs. So perhaps you could say a bit of bad luck there, but in the group stages for the G1 League, to be honest, they looked a bit underwhelming. We haven't really seen dominant performances from this team. They squeaked into the playoffs as your 3rd place team from Group B. Couldn't really muster much of an offense versus IG or Zenith. A team with all the potential in the world, but a team that, unfortunately, since their roster changes, has yet to really show it.
Yeah, because of the playstyle, I think a lot of people have been saying that they are still stuck in the 4 Protect 1 strategy, which is not something very, very good right now. Most of the teams...
Speaking of 4 Protect 1, here's a 1 who can make all the gold in the world.
Yeah, Alchemist, if you let him free farm, you're not going to be too happy about that.
Now, this hero doesn't have to be a carry. With DK, I would assume he is, but Mouse Sports has shown him to be a rather powerful support hero, especially with Shadow Demon. You can try lane him. He's kind of ridiculous.
I like to use this hero as a support as well. It's a very good stun at level 1, and it scales pretty well during the mid game. You can be useful to your team even during the mid and late game phases of the game if it goes very long, and it's very useful in defending pushes, especially against the Lone Druid and Chen. The acid makes the Spirit Bear very, very vulnerable to the normal attacks.
So they get some minus armor. They also get a hero who's got relatively good strength gauge, or relatively high HP, not strength gauge. The strength gauge is actually really bad, but when he's in ultimate form, he has a lot of HP. So what I've seen a lot of teams do is they'll build an early medallion on him, and against the bear, that plus the acid spray is a ton of minus armor, not only to kill the bear, but also being on the dire side to maybe take Roshan early.
Medallion, acid spray, soul catcher. The bear comes up, 1 second later, gone.
You can't target the bear with the stun, though, right? The stun's only hero targeted, I believe.
Only hero targets, yeah. You're right.
So that sucks, because if you could stun the bear, and you could take all that armor off it, it really would be very easy to kill, but they still have Soul Catcher and Demonic Purge to help deal with that. So LGD.int, with all that being said, we've been talking a lot about what DK's gotten. What has LGD.int gotten? They've gotten a Chen, a Lone Druid, a Leshrac. The one thing they're lacking is that setup combo. I guess the Chen can be the setup hero if he gets, say, a Dark Troll Warlord, but not the most reliable at that. Is it going to be a support Leshrac is the question, or are they maybe looking at a Rubik and then run this Leshrac as a farmer?
They have been known to run Leshrac plus Chen, which is, like what you said, very weird because of no initiating spells, and unless your Chen gets a Troll Warlord, a Dark Troll Warlord, there's basically nothing you can do to set up the stun for the Leshrac.
So it is going to be a DK ban from DK. Man, that's some hate right there. That's some self-loathing. Get DK into therapy right now. Stat. But, of course, Dragon Knight, when LGD.int already has this lineup, it actually makes a lot of sense. Their pushing power is almost unparalleled. With a Chen, a Lone Druid, and a Leshrac, lots of damage for the towers.
LGD has the first pick. They still ban out Darkseer. Darkseer is something, if you look at this type of lineup, they like to have Darkseer in their lineup a lot in their past games.
So it makes a lot of sense, right? Because he can build the early mech. If you dual roam with the Chen, you can get the Arcane Boots, and you won't be farming as much if you're dual roaming. So why would you do this?
It's possible that it's a Lone Druid off lane because of the Darkseer ban.
Because otherwise, it seems a little strange for LGD.int. The only other thing I could think of, Winter, is maybe they don't have that same kind of timing strategy in mind.
Yeah, they could be just using the Chen to create early pressure, and they would pick up a Leshrac as a carry, probably, if G plays it, and play something like Orange playstyle, just brush a Bloodstorm, get ready to go for the mid game and late game. They are in no hurry to push down the towers early.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see what LGD.int is going to do the rest of the way, because it looks like their normal opening, aside from the fact that they don't have a setup for the Chen dual roam. But, I mean, maybe it'll be more of a farming Chen, more Orange style, maybe they'll play more passively. It doesn't feel like LGD.int if that's the case, because this is a team that's all about early aggression and early pressure.
Yep.
But banning a hero like Darkseer, really the perfect complement to that early pressure, because not only do you get the early kills, hopefully, and then the early, offense on the lane, but then you could follow it up with some tower kills, with the next level of pushing, securing Roshan control, map control. But banning out a hero like Darkseer, maybe they have something else in mind, so let's see what they do here.
Yeah, not to mention, if you put the Darkseer against the Alchemist, Alchemist is a melee farmer. He's going to have a lot of hard time farming against the Darkseer lane.
And we're going to have a puck pickup from LGD.int, so this will be G's hero most likely, headed to the mid lane.
Yeah. This has to be the mid lane hero, so they can still swap between the Lone Druid to the off lane, or they want to run the Lone Druid on the safe lane, but it's LGD. They're just going to go pressure early game, so I think the Lone Druid will 99.9% be on the safe lane for the more favored 1v1 matchup, and they're going to pick up another off lane hero for Brax, which I'm quite surprised they banned out the Darkseer, because Darkseer would have been perfect.
I'm trying to think who else Brax has been playing. We've seen him on Gyrocopter quite a bit. We've seen him on Lifestealer, but Lifestealer is banned.
There's no Juggernaut, there's no Gyro, there's no Lifestealer, there's no Clockwork.
Gyro's actually available, isn't he? I don't see a ban.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, with Clockwork and Tinker being banned, the other two sort of mechanical heroes, that might have been the confusion.
Yeah, my mind just got messed up.
But there is a Gyro available, and a Chen Leshrac Gyro tri-lane, it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't have that great setup stun, but if they can land a Split Earth, if they do get a Dark Troll Warlord, then it's a very scary tri-lane.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not as scary as something like a Darkseer, because you can put a lot of pressure on the lane with the Darkseer Iron Shell and just tank the creeps from behind, creep skip, and go dive at the tower.
And DK will go back for a bit of a map controller here. I imagine this will be ROTK's hero, probably an off-lane Beastmaster, or at least a solo Beastmaster in the side lane, depending if DK want to go aggressive tri-lane.
I remember the other day they ran Queen of Pain off lane on ROTK, and Beastmaster was solo mid.
Well, in theory, the Queen of Pain has the better matchup versus Lone Druid. It's not a great matchup, but it's certainly better than Beastmaster.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Beastmaster can't do anything at all, but he just can stand in the lane and look at the bear farming the creeps. That's all.
And just wish, sadly, that his pet wasn't a pathetic little Quillbeast. I want a big bad bear, but all I get is this.
Quillbeast is no match for his bear.
Yeah, the Quillbeast is kind of an inferior creature when you really get down to it. It's okay, though. We love you, Quillbeast. And LGD.int looks like they need that hero for Brax. What is it going to be? I suppose it's always possible. It could be a puck for Brax, but it's just such a G hero that we really expect he'll be the one handling it.
Yeah, Puck is the tempo controller in this game for LGD, so it's kind of expected to be the mid hero and G's hero, because he's more suitable to play heroes like a Puck or Night Stalker or Beastmaster, something like that. He always likes to be very aggressive to take control of the game for his team. So Pycard can have Lycan. So it's Brax on Lone Druid.
Probably, yeah. The one thing I will say is I've actually seen LGD China, when they scrimmed against you, they ran an offlane Lycan. So I don't know if they got that from LGD.int, if it's something they would consider. The Lone Druid's the much more obvious choice. Normally we'd expect a Pycat
I
Lycan.
don't think they'll do the Lycan over the Lone Druid on offlane. I don't think so.
I guess if you have no better options, then maybe that's where you look to put the Lycan in. But just throwing it out there, something that has been done before in scrims by the other LGD squad. And for DK, they went for the Beastmaster, so they get... I mean, kind of fortunate for them. They now have a great hero to deal with Lycan in the mid game, and something they didn't even know was coming their way. But now you're happy you have Roar on your side if you're DK.
Yeah, but there's a lot of lack of disables on LGD side,
and that's not going to help.
Yeah, but the thing is, the only main primary disable is Puck Ultimate for them. Puck plus Lycan is actually a very good combination.
It is. It's really good. If you Dream Coil multiple heroes, then Lycan, all he wants is for heroes to not be able to move, so he can hit them. And Dream Coil gives you that, and it gives it on multiple heroes.
Yeah, Dream Coil. Furthermore, Dream Coil has a very short cooldown, and he will mostly have it in all the fights, so that he can be the disable for the Lycan to maul down all the support heroes. Even the Alchemist. Alchemist without ulti form is just food for the Lycan.
So in the end, DK, they have that Inner Beast Star, they have that Alchemist, but it will be a one-position Alchemist, a farming Alchemist, a burning Alchemist. And on the side of LGD International, they go for some crazy strong push. Now, the one nice thing about Alchemist as a carry is that he gives you a lot of counter push with Acid Spray. So LGD, they're pushing into Acid Spray, Shadow Poison, Axes, and Illuminate. They're pushing as strong as it is. I feel DK have a lot of ways to deal with it, aside from the Lone Druid Bear. That's going to be the one thing that's a little bit harder to bring down, but things like Wolves are not going to last very long against DK's lineup.
Yeah, but they can, if they can accrue a very good advantage from the early game, they can just dive and kill the heroes behind with Puck and Lycan. Kill the guards of the tower before you go for the tower. Then there will be no spells coming your way when you take the tower.
Well, Winter, it's time. It's the time to introduce both teams in this best of three. On the side of Team DK, we have QQQ playing the Shadow Demon. ROTK on the Queen of Pain. Super. Taking the Beastmaster, rushing the bottle, heading solo mid, burning your soul on the Alchemist. Last but not least, MMY going to be handling the Keeper of the Light. And off the bat, they will be scouted by a pair of Wolves.
Yeah, and for LGD, we have Misery on the Chen, as always. 1437 on the last shot. High card on the Lycan, G on the Puck, and Brax will be on the offlane Lone Druid. They can actually do level 1 rush very easily with these 5 heroes, DK. Just get Acid Spray, and Beastmaster gets his aura. They can do the Roshan very easily. It
didn't really seem like LGD were thinking about it, though. They were only scouting the jungle, so DK, maybe they could... It's something we've seen a lot of from the European teams. A lot of North American European teams have been going for level 1 Rosh, but DK, not going to chance it here.
If you do it once in a blue moon, it'll work. You can't do it every game.
Yeah, if you do it too much, then they're like, well, this team likes to level 1 Rosh. And off the bat, a little regen rune here for the Lone Druid Bear. No big deal. So LGD, and going for an offensive tri-lane Lycan from the looks of things. And they will be up against a solo Queen of Pain, who is not going to do a whole lot to stop the push, but won't die either unless they get some really good creeps.
Nope, it's RTK. There's a high possibility that something surprising will happen.
Good or bad, something surprising will probably happen. And off the bat, Misery going to be offensive jungling, and, well, looking at what DK is doing, they're running an aggressive tri-lane of their own. So, dodging the tri-lane for your Chen, making sure that you can get creeps off the bat, maybe expecting his jungle was warded.
Oh, bottom lane. It's going to be first blood, I think.
Illuminate goes in, G. Oh, the phase shift, not enough. Looks like a disruption into an Alchemist stun there. Sets up an easy kill with the Illuminate, and G...
I think he should have used the phase shift to dodge the Alchemist stun instead of dodging the Illuminate. I think he should have dodged the stun instead.
You know, maybe he just... Did he realize the stun was actually being channeled at that point, though? Maybe he thought Bernie had taken the gold skill at level 1. Or something else. Top lane, a net on ROTK. Now a Split Earth to follow up, and another counter kill claimed. As my connection to the server is apparently not the best, but hopefully you guys saw that there. The Troll Warlord net into the Split Earth, and an immediate push. And actually the TP canceled. That's a big loss for him.
He can't TP down to that. He'll die if he goes down.
Yeah, then he'll just hit a Split Earth, 1437 will, and they'll have enough damage to bring him down. Although,
oh my god, no wonder he died so easily. He skilled poison instead of blink.
He had to have known. They saw G bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a crucial mistake by RTK.
Very bad mistake.
If he had Blink there, he almost certainly lives, even with the net, even with the Split Earth. And off the bat, bottom lane, G's in a little bit of trouble, but G is having Phase Shift as well as Orbit at this point, much less likely to die than a level 1 RTK who doesn't even have Blink. Already the tier 1 falls for LGD.int.
RTK is gonna be struggling to take his level 2. I don't think LGD will allow him to even get his level 2.
And looking at LGD.int, the solo mid lane, going well for them as well as you would expect. A Lone Druid versus Beastmaster. A little bit easier in the... Oh, RTK dropping incredibly low here. Just the Chen chasing him down, forcing out a TP already from our Keeper of the Light. RTK will throw in the Shadow Strike Misery, thinking he can get the kill. Doesn't quite get the damage on Test of Faith that he was hoping for. And in the end, he won't find it. But they got the tier 1. So all things considered, I would say a little bit of an overextension by Misery. But hey, he forces out the TP. Now G only dealing with the dual lane.
Yeah, RTK survived because he had a salve, that's all, that's why.
And he did have to use a salve at that, so...
Yeah.
And now Misery just lurking in the jungle. Pycat continuing to keep pressure on this lane. Good farm early. The one thing about... One of the main benefits to getting that early tower is it means your Vlads will be faster. Once you have your Vlads, that's such a good pushing item for LGD. Plus, Lycan can just go jungle with that, so it really frees up the lanes.
Yeah, but I think they have to force towers as much as possible during the early few levels. Like what you said at the start, if you don't get the towers early, when DK has their levels up, the Illuminate, Axe and Poison and the Acid will just stop you from pushing any towers.
Yeah, Misery, he's trying to keep the pressure up, moving the Centaur through the jungle, but he's going to walk right into RTK, who will Shadow Strike him. 1437 is here. And now Die, already level 3, so, I mean, it gets hard to push because you can always spam Illuminate. RTK, not really under too much pressure, but also not really farming in this lane, so it's mainly Birding in the bottom lane who's getting the farm right now for DK. The Beastmaster mid doing alright, and Birding is getting free farm at that. He's not actually leveling his Grievel's Greed right now. He's maxing the Acid Spray first, and, I mean, pretty standard to see that.
I think it's a good decision because LGD has such an aggressive lineup. He wants the Acid to be able to defend his towers.
Of course, that will slow down his farm, but I imagine we'll see him get the Grievel's Greed a bit later on, and I wonder what build Birding will go for this game. I'm kind of curious to see.
He has 1 point up already now.
Yeah, it's a skill that you don't really have to level up early. Even just level 1 in it is pretty good.
Yeah, level 1 Grievel's Greed already gives you a lot.
Oh, 1437 comes in. They will find a Wild Keeper of the Light, but he's already got boots. The Split Earth won't hit. The Edict is there. Leshrac trying to run him down. Stops for an auto attack and will run out of range, but diving in that tower with Queen of Pain off the map for a second. A bit risky. They won't go for it in the end.
They might try to go for RTK.
Mid lane and Entangle and Super. Another one will spell his doom, but the bear...
Top lane.
Oh, can't quite get in range. Meanwhile, RTK, he blinks away. Split Earth fully down. He's dead to the Test of Faith. They'll pick up the kill. And narrowly, Super escapes mid. If looking at DK, I feel like the one thing they do have going for them is Beastmaster's almost level 6. And if LGD and overextend top, we could easily see 2 heroes dying, especially now. He's got a double damage rune. Whereas the Lone Druid, he's not actually going to be able to gank. All he can do is push this lane. But they may need to see Super coming top soon.
Yeah, but if you look at the early phase, 2 of the core pushing heroes of LGD has the superior farm compared to DK. And DK is only farming up 1 hero really well, which is Burning.
Yeah, Super is losing his lane kind of by default. You can't really win this lane as a Beastmaster.
Yeah. And Queen of Pain is not getting farm at all as well because of the early game push on the tier 1, so she doesn't have anywhere safe to stand in the lane unless the lane is pushed back to her tier 2 tower.
Had RTK taken Blink at level 1, had he not died, which I assume he wouldn't have, they still would have gotten the tower, but it would not have been nearly as fast as they did. They wouldn't have had early boots on their supports.
It's also first blood. It's boots for the support. That's very crucial.
Right. And DK looking to get aggressive again. They've smoked up. They'll head into the LGD.int jungle. Or the DK. I call it the LGD.int jungle because it basically is. They're just living here. They'll find QQQ.
Find QQQ.
No, can't get in range. Won't find the stun. And here comes Super. He's now level 6. They've got to back out immediately. They will do so. Now 4 heroes top. The DK sandwich. Birding on one side, or Super on one side, QQQ on the other. Not gonna find their meat and cheese in the middle just yet. That, of course, would be LGD, and they would love to turn them into a paste, but can't do so yet. Now Brax hits level 6, and oh, by the way, Brax up to 1900 gold. Actually, level 7.
They're gonna kill G at bottom. This is a very good timing rotation for Super. The wards just ran out. at 6 minutes and he's rotating bottom and G uses an AWP now. I think he's gonna die.
Oh, he is so dead. He'll bottle up, but the orb's cooling down for about 8 seconds. The roar should be coming in any second. The stun being channeled by Burning. He'll need to unleash it now. A phase shift not going to be there. Still stunned. And a crucial kill. G is level 6. He just got it, but he'll be on the sidelines for a few moments despite having it. Pycat top lane. Vlad's already up. 7-minute Vlads. That is really fast. That is really, really fast. He'll put pressure on the top lane, while mid lane, it's going to be Illuminate spam to try and slow down Brax, slow down Misery. Misery is my one concern for LGD.int. He's only level 3, as good as the Lycan, as well as the...
1437's dead.
Well, a wild 1437 appears. Tried to rotate in mid, but DK were prepared for that.
He was trying, because his team was pushing in the front of the tower, and he was trying to land a split up on the Keeper of the Light, but the DK had so much support there, and when he tried to run, he got scouted by the Shadow Poison.
Yeah, and that's one of the most annoying things about Shadow Poison, is it's hard to go for those backstabs as a support if DK are being active around the map, which they normally are. So, to return to what I wanted to bring up with you, Wimser, this Chen is not for getting many levels. Misery's only level 3 at 8 minutes in. And sure, he's got a decent amount of gold, but we really need to see that big creep army for him as the game progresses, and right now, not close to it.
He always plays it like this. He generally doesn't favor getting more levels. He wants to apply more pressure. He wants to be there for his team all the time to, even with the slightest opening, try to get a kill or try to get a tower. He's not like Xting or any other champ player which prioritizes getting the fast mag up for his team. He's much more of the early lane pressure.
So Brex, he sat on a bunch of gold. I thought maybe he's thinking about a relic, but their lineup really does favor the early armlet. Just something that will let you bring the towers down now, rather than an item that will help you farm more later. That's what Brex will choose.
I think he has to go for the armlet. That's to counteract the armor reduction.
And how much armor reduction will we see this game? Burning goes back for a Reign of Health. Now, there's two ways to go with this. The Vanguard is the sort of safe way. The Battle Fury is the greedy way. Burning,
nope, Battle Fury is not the greediest way. You go for Midas first, then you go for your Battle Fury.
Yeah, not the greediest, but at this point, it's a little late for a Midas Winter. Come on now. But
and who is it? I can't remember the player's name. I was gonna say someone who definitely go for Midas. Shit. The greedy player. Dan.
Oh man, QMX Dan. I've only cast him that one day. I've never cast him since then. But he will forever be burned into my memory as the greediest player I've ever seen. Even topping Eternal Envy, who will get his... Winter, I don't know if you've heard, but Eternal Envy is taking pooling to the next level. In his pub games, he gets his teammates to buy him a bottle at level 1.
What?
As a safe lane Shadow Fiend.
What?
He's like, buy me a bottle. So he starts with a bottle, and then someone else, I think, pulls him tangos, and he starts with a Wraith Band as well. So Wraith Band, 2 branches, that's his gold. One of his teammates gets him a bottle, another gets him a set of tangos. That's greed, man. He might even have Dan beat, but aside from that...
He's gonna be diabetic with that sort of greed.
Your body can only take so much. Top lane, it looks like Pycat may be looking to make a go on RTK right now. He's got his ultimate up.
I think he has a very, very high chance to kill RTK because it's a level 1 blink and his ultimate is 522 movement speed. There's no... Unless RTK blinks into the trees.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If he blinks towards the tower, he's gonna die.
We'll see what he does. Beastmaster does not have a teleport scroll. Shadow Demon does, but is smoked up and heading the other direction. So unlikely that he'll be joining. They're actually...
They saw him. There's a bot there, LD.
And yeah, actually well, for some reason QQQ's running south, but his teammates are heading north. So I imagine they're trying to gank Pycat, and they could actually kill him. They have enough burst damage and enough disables between Disruption as well as the Beastmaster Roar that if they chain it all up properly, they can kill Pycat. He's got a Vlad's, but that doesn't make you that much tankier because most of the damage is coming from nukes. So Pycat has to be careful here. A death here could really set his team back.
I think as long as he doesn't feel so greedy to go for the kill too deep, he should be fine. The ultimate form will enable him to get out of there.
And RTK, how well is he going to bait this? Once Pycat pops, once he pops that ultimate, it will take 3 or 4 hits to kill RTK at most. RTK is 354 HP.
I trust your math. I trust your math, LD.
And it might even be 2 or 3. I mean, look at this. He's got 3 armor and 350 health. Pycat in ult form, And that's if a Pycat doesn't get crits. If Pycat gets crits, it might even just be 2 hits. Probably 3 though, I think. So RTK will have to blink quickly here because Lycan.
I'll settle on 3 hits, LD.
Here we go.
See if you have it back.
Here we go. Pycat chasing with the wolves has not popped his ult yet. Just scouting RTK out. Wants to force that blink. RTK baiting. He'll blink into the trees. Pycat. Oh no! He's got the tango. He finds RTK. If he gets out now, that is so bad for them. They roar. They'll throw in the poison. They need a disruption. They won't get it off. Pycat with the huge plays. And ROTK with the very questionable blink there, costing his team a roar and giving a kill to Pycat.
Just blink back to the other side.
Yeah, there's so many spots back here that are completely safe, but RTK, well, he chooses the wrong area. He also waited a while, really wanted to bait that. I think Pycat knew and just felt like he could get the kill anyway. Because the Radiant did have a ward here, and he saw them at the last few seconds, right as they came out of smoke. Bottom lane, well, LGD.int, they're trying to follow up that kill with the push on the tower. Burning, still sitting on about 500 gold. Anything on the courier for him? Nope, not yet. Just a TP scroll, maybe? No, that's for QQQ, so...
I think he might be going for Vanguard.
Well, Vanguard will... I mean, what is a Vanguard...
And Lycan, LD.
It helps you tank, but... I feel like at the end of the day, Alchemist is going to lose that man fight with them anyway.
It depends. If it's level 16 and full items, I think Alchemist has a very good shot.
Oh yeah, and in 20 minutes I agree. But right now, Alchemist is not fighting those heroes, whether he's a Vanguard or not.
Yeah, he can't fight Lunge and Lycan up until the 30-minute mark.
And meanwhile, RTK is just being bullied top lane. Medallion is now up on Pycat, popping the Medallion, setting the wolves after him while he continues to farm the lane. And RTK doesn't even have a bottle yet, so he can't even spam his nukes. He's dropping really low top. He's gonna have to blow Blink. He actually screams first. He's got 1 Blink. Pycat has his ult. He won't chase, but this is bad. Pycat is just free farming top lane as a carry, as a Lycan, solo. Your Queen of Pain can't lane against him. Not getting any farm, so it's all in the burning basket. And it feels like that's been the problem with DK lately, is all their eggs in the burning basket, and that basket just doesn't have enough time to get sturdy and strong to carry the team.
You have to put your eggs in 3 baskets like Zenith. So you have different sort of advantages. You have your basket at the top that can't steal all your eggs because you have basket. Your eggs are all over the map. Split push, split farm. But because it's DK, all their eggs are in 1 basket. They just pressure Burning, and if Burning doesn't farm, they can't win the game.
I think actually the best we've seen is the IG basket with five baskets. When they picked up a Rubik as their 5 position, a Batrider as their 4, and then 3 very greedy heroes as their 1, 2, 3. That was the game they lost to Zenith. Zenith blinded them with their greed. But for the most part, we see 2 or 3 baskets as the most common choice. Alright, enough with the basket analogies. Jesus.
You started it.
Alright, well, I'm stopping it. And Burning, he's got his perseverance, so any debate can now be put to rest. He will be going for the Battle Fury.
Yeah, Battle Fury is the more appropriate greedy item right now.
And I feel like this wouldn't be necessary if their other lanes had done better, but unfortunately, Burning's the only hero who's having enough of a farming impact to do much. So if Queen of Pain had a good start, maybe Burning could go for an item like Vanguard, but when he's the only one farming, it's got to be a very, very fat Burning, and even at that, he's far behind now. Despite having Grievel's Greed, he's still sitting 900 net worth behind the Lycan, 900 net worth behind the Lone Druid, and yes, there's a tower advantage of 1 tower for LGD.int, but look at the CS. Some of it's jungle crease, but it's still a 20 CS lead for both of the LGD.int carries.
Yeah, it all came down to how they placed their lanes, which was very crucial. LGD.int played their lanes, was putting pressure on top, and middle lane was naturally won by them because there's nothing a Beastmaster can do against a Lone Druid.
Uh-oh, Pycat. Spidey senses are tingling. Wolf senses are tingling. He'll eat a disruption, just barely in range. They'll need a roar, followed up by the Alchemist stun. They chain the stuns.
Oh, no.
Doesn't matter. That minus armor was just enough, but without it, I feel like he was very close to running into the trees and TPing away.
Yeah, he felt something was going on because there was no one on the map, only middle there's a keeper of light, and when there's that many heroes missing, because He's a Lycan. There's no way DK can kill him with just 2 heroes. They need more than 2 heroes.
And the downside is they had to blow not only a Roar, but 4 heroes ganking him. The Alchemist was not farming during that time. DK will now go for a trade, recognizing that without Roar and with LGD already under their tier 1 bottom, they can't actually contest that. So they'll go for the trade. They'll try and get the tier 1 top. They have a double damage on Super. He's gone for the Hawk build. He'll now go back for 1 point Inner Beast. And LGD.int, they don't even lose the tier 1, so yes, you lose Pycat, but I'll take that trade if I'm LGD.int.
Yeah, they did very well by holding their own tower and getting the bottom tier 1 tower. That was very, very good for them. Even though, like you mentioned, Pycat, they lost Pycat, but it's no big deal.
So Winter, strategically, we're looking at a very strong pushing lineup with 2 big damage dealers right now, the Lone Druid and the Lycan. As we head towards the late game...
It's more than big damage dealer, LD. These 2 are the big tanks.
Tanks and damage, yeah, that's right. They are tanks that shoot like 1 billion rounds per second. They really hurt. But as we head towards the mid game, DK, they've held on to their tier 2 towers for now, but you gotta expect LGD.int will have a game plan of in the next 5 minutes taking all of those down. If you're DK, you know it's coming. What do you do to kind of prevent that? What do you do to counter it? Or to avoid it if you can?
They have to do the split pushing very, very well without getting caught and have their supports always early to defend their towers. They can't be at the towers when LGD is already there. They have to be there preemptively so that they can cast the Illuminate, throw their axes and the poisons. They can't be there only when LGD is already mauling down their towers. They are not going to defend their towers that way. They have one of the key ways they have to defend their towers is always to be ready, to be early at the towers. It's
like basketball, right? You got to box them out. Once they get under the net, there's no stopping LGD.int from grabbing that easy rebound.
Yeah, you have to be there early to stop the push. You can't just react to it. There's no way, because they're just going to just ignore you and just maul down the tower.
The one downside to DK's movement around this map is, yes, they've been actually, I would say the supports have been playing quite well, anticipating most of the movements. They rotated Keeper of the Light up there early. Shadow Demon for QQQ has been in the right place at the right time almost every moment this game. And in spite of that, they're under-leveled, they're under-farmed. That's really my big worry for them, is they've been doing what they need to do to keep their team in the game, but these heroes are going to become liabilities. In top lane, RTK, he'll eat a net, followed by a Centaur stun, an entangle, and he's dead. Not even needed. Just the shockwave, the test of faith. Misery, basically a solo kill there. Brax with a few auto attacks. That's pretty scary when your Queen of Pain is getting essentially soloed by a Chen. At 15 minutes in, 16 minutes in.
Yeah, do not underestimate the Chen. His nuke is pure damage.
Yeah, Test of Faith really hurts if you get lucky. And Misery, well, he didn't get the good roll on the first gank, but he gets it now. Top tower, under siege, 3 creeps and a bear, an armlet bear at that with phase, as well as Gloves of Haste, already in position. But in comes Bernie, he'll eat a Split Earth to start. Not really the hero you want to initiate on, though. He's one of the hardest to kill on this team. Probably the hardest. And they'll back off, but they'll go for the trade. Pycat on one side of the map, 3 or 4 heroes on the other. LGD.int, they just feel like no reason to group as 5. Then we're going to run right into Illuminate and Axes. Let's keep one hero on one side of the map, one on the other. RTK, he'll eat a Dream Coil. The Orb will fly in, but it's too far to dive. RTK will dodge away from that one. The Wolves will bring him low. Pycat, ult now, cooldown. He's chasing. He wants this courier. He medallions the courier. He can't get a rage. Just Pycat being totally thwarted in this fight. And now G forced to run away. It looks like he TP'd back towards mid. And top lane, LGD.int. Well, you stop us bottom, you TP bottom, we'll go push top instead. Edict and Barrow one side, Wolves on the other. It's now an LGD.int sandwich, and I don't think DK like the way it tastes.
Yeah, they're doing the smart thing because they know DK can defend one tower together with all their spams. So what they're doing the right thing by splitting DK to the top map, to the mid point of the map, to the bottom point of the map. Because all the nukes, if you separate all the nukes, they are not going to take down your creep wave very quickly.
LGD.int really flexing their muscles here in game number 1. Guys, for anybody just tuning in, this is game number 1 of a best of 3 between DK and LGD.int. It's an elimination match. Loser goes home and will find themselves basically kicking themselves as they would only be 2 wins away from the LAN finals. The winner does not actually secure a spot in the G League Season 5 LAN finals, but they are very close at that point. They're then 1 best of 3 away versus Zenith, and it's a Zenith team playing without XY, who has looked strong, but not unbeatable by any means. I could see either of these teams beating Zenith if they put it together. DK not quite so much, but I still think it's not out of the realm of possibility. Zenith will still be the favorites of that match for sure. But either of these teams do have what it takes if they can put it together. And right now, it's LGD.int who seem to have all the answers for DK. They've taken the tier 2 top. They pressured the tier 2 mid. They're getting set up for a Roshan soon. They'll push out top lane. Birding, you said he needs to split push effectively, and the supports need to be ready at the towers that are being pressured. And DK, despite losing that one tower top, for the most part, it's been Birding pushing. He's now got his Battle Fury, and the supports in position at the towers to slow down the aggression from LGD.int.
Yeah, the other hero that has to do a lot of sweep pushing is the Queen of Pain, but our DK has been dying so much that I think he'll be very, very cautious about how he splits pushes. He can't go too far.
Currently sitting at 0-4, which, considering his start, I would say isn't even as bad as it could have been.
But I think...
But it's still pretty bad.
It was a very huge mistake not having Blink at level 1 there.
At the very least, just saving the skill point. It's understandable that you would think about skilling Shadowstrike if you get the 1v1 matchup on the Lone Druid, like what we thought maybe would be the case. But when you see it's not, I mean, that's why you save your skill point. It's just, there's no need to level it up beforehand. And RTK just getting a little bit overzealous. He might find... Oh, gee, they don't... Do they have detection? Don't see any. They've been revealed. They have to know there's an invisible hero here. They will. They'll back off. But Brax, seeing that there's 3 heroes bottom, will start pressuring top freely. Now a Maelstrom up on his bear. Now 1,300 gold up on his hero. Brax is really farming well this game. 140 CS. I mean, let me say that again. 140 CS at 19 minutes in. Some of it jungle creeps, yes, but that's 7 CS a minute regardless. That is insane. He's taken down the early towers. He hasn't died either. Sure, only 1 assist to his name, but him and Pycat have really been doing their jobs. Pycat, the 1 overextension top. But aside from that, it's been perfect play from these 2 carries for LGD.int.
I think it's necessary for Pycat to be doing like what he did before, the overextension, so that he'll be able to force the supports back or force any kind of movement from DK. Because if you look at the heroes of LGD, Pycat is the only one that's able to deal those type of pressures, so that the other heroes of LGD is able to farm more. It's also one of the reasons why Brax has been given so much space to farm. It's because they need so many heroes to lock down Pycat, and they can't take care of Brax at the same time.
Yeah, Brax is much easier to chase down. Sure, he's tanky, but he's not as mobile, so... DK, we talked about their lack of disables. That doesn't really affect you versus a Lone Druid, who at the end of the day, he doesn't have basically a spammable haste rune once you hit level 16, which is what Pycat has with his ultimate.
Yeah, and not to mention, Queen of Pain is the one who has to build the Side of Vice, but because she's so far behind, I have no idea how long is that going to take.
It looks like even an Orchid, perhaps. It will be an Orchid for RTK.
Orchid? Really?
I guess it's kind of necessary, right? They're just... Oh, here comes an initiation from G. He'll catch out 2 with the Dream Coil. There's no heals. There will be a disruption, but they're just roshing for free while this happens. The mech comes out. The Split Earth is there. Rosh should be claimed with ease by LGD. They will get a stun on G. They'll lock him down. They'll try to bring him down. The Hand of God comes through, but he will die. A Rosh traded for the Puck's life. G throwing his body on the line, jumping on that grenade, and LGD, they'll walk away with an Aegis. He wouldn't have died
if he phase shift the stun from the Alchemist. He mistimed it.
Just a slight mistiming there. The good news is LGD, they did lose G, but they won't lose their tower top as all 5 heroes from DK rotated towards that engagement. So RTK, he is going for Orchid. I suppose it's not bad. You're up against a Chen and a Puck who aren't going to have a BKB or a Mantis, so it could be useful versus them. But I guess your question is, how do you kill Lycan? How do you kill Lone Druid?
I don't think it's a good thing to get an Orchid, because you can't kill the Lycan or Lone Druid with an Orchid. They're just gonna continue to hit you. And Lycan is going to get a BKB at some point of the game. Orchid is gonna do nothing to him.
It's a rather interesting time for DK to actually be...
Oh no, RTK is dead again.
RTK, he tried to join his team, he walked right up the hill into an Observer Ward, didn't come down the lane. They will get the tower bottom. It goes to Birding, who is now sitting on a Claymore, going for a Lothar's Edge, going for that split push. Will he get entangled? He won't. Instead, they'll go on the back lanes. They saw Birding TPing out. They knew he wouldn't be here to help his team, but in the end, it's G who dies yet again. And now QQQ on the run, and Entangle will be here. He'll defensively disrupt. The Split Earth is going to miss from 1437. Not the smoothest fight, but when it's all said and done, LGD.int, well, they drop low, but they get 2 kills, the Queen of Pain and the Shadow Demon. They lose G, but G's got his Blink Dagger, and realistically, G isn't being asked to do a whole lot this game. Jump in, drop your Dream Coil, and then if you die, oh well. Burn it, he was channeling his stun. He was channeling his stun, and Pycat baits it out with the BKB. Fortunately for Burning, he has a Shadow Blade, or he would have died there. He'll now rotate bottom. The Bear mauling away on the tower. The Zoo is on the loose. Somebody let these animals out of their cages. The Troll Warlords, the Bears, the Wolves, and they're just having a blast.
And the Deer Man.
And the Deer Man. Oh, boy. I mean, how do you create a creature like this? What an abomination he really is. And look,
the mid fight there at the tier 2 tower, that was so clutch by both of the players. Piker knew he wanted to bait Burning to stun him, and he BKB at the last second, so he would stun himself. And Burning knew he was in trouble, and he used his Shadow Blade on time. Either one small mistake, both of them, either one of them would have died there.
Yeah, Pycat would have died, and I guess that's the thing worth noticing is Burning is starting to hit very hard. He's squishy, yes, but if he can find supports, if he can find heroes isolated, if they roar someone, they now have the damage to bring those heroes down, between Acid Spray as well as just the auto attacks. And oh, by the way, Unstable Concoction actually does a crap load of damage because it's physical damage, and it's a decent amount of damage at that. So when you stack it up with the Midas Armor from Acid Spray, Burning hits hard. If he finds a hero on his own, I think they can bring them down. Even the Lone Druid or the Lycan won't be an easy kill, but I think it will be possible if they get caught out.
Yeah, the Inner Beast will just make sure that the Alchemist hits like a madman.
Yeah, if he's with that Beastmaster, who has gone back, Super's gone back for 2 points to their Beast. LGD.int. Winter, it's about 25 minutes in. They're up by a 7.5k gold lead, a 5k experience lead. It's not an overwhelming lead. It is a strong one at that, but DK, they've got the items and heroes to be able to split push as we see ROTK pushing top. Burning is going to sit here, and if anybody TP's back, and it's only 1 or 2 heroes, they may try to go on this and pick someone off. LGD.int. They're up against Keeper of the Light. They're up against Axe and Poison Spam from the Shadow Demon of QQQ and the Beastmaster of Super. And it looks like in the end, they might be forced to back. So DK are buying themselves quite a bit of time with this.
Yeah, they have to just keep doing this until they have enough.
Oh, Burning, he ran inside of the Shadow Blade. Now he'll TP out. Here comes the stun from 1437. It will be too late. Burning, he actually came up. They thought that LGD was going to go on the tower bottom, but in the end, well, it's just a big bad bear. Mauling away on Super. Brax just chilling on the high ground, letting the little bear do all the work. All the Mama Bear. Oh, he gets purged. He gets Soul Catchered. Here comes the backup. Here comes the Chen army. I think Brax is okay, actually. Especially, well, there's your roar. And it will be a decent disable, but it's just not enraged. And now the Chen stuns fly out. Burning has joined the party. He never died top. They don't have their Lycan. Everybody from LGD coming to the fight, and DK, they get the gem. They need to run the hell away. Now Brax will pick that gem up. Burning on the retreat. QQQ on the retreat as well. An Entangle here will be the death of an additional hero, but they won't find the Entangle. They get back to the base safely. Chen is dead, which means pushing will be a bit harder right now for LGD.int.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard if they try to push in one lane. They need to do what they did before, was split DK up. 1 hero at the top, 1 hero at the bottom, 1 hero at middle, and just let the Lycan and Lone Druid mount on the towers. They can even do it 3 ways with Lycan and Lone Druid both soloing, and the Lashrock, Chen and Puck form a 3 hero party in the mid lane, so that they force enough heroes to defend the lane, and both of the other lanes with the Lycan and Lone Druid taking down the towers. I think they could do that.
They will find out a Lycan here, but I don't think they're going to go on that. Now a plate mail picked up for Bernie. Once he completes this Assault Cuirass, it's going to hurt. Already, look at the amount of damage the bear will take. Oh, it's dropping fast. It's dropping very fast.
The Aegis is running out though, LD, so I don't think they'll still go. Maybe they'll wait for next round. I think it has around only 20 seconds more before it expires.
I'm a little surprised RTK has come mid. They feel like LGD is going to force it up the hill. 1 deep breath and in they go. Lycan working. Lycan has the Aegis. He'll throw it away right now. Queen of Pain will blow up 1437. No mech, no Hand of God. Those were already used. Now Pycat forced to run away. A buyback from 1437 because they know that they need to keep the map control flowing, although Roshan isn't up for 4 minutes, so a little surprised he buys back there quite so quickly. But they will... the other thing that was interesting is RTK came back to that fight. He now has his Orchid. I thought maybe he would keep on pushing top, but I think it's a good thing he did, because in the end, LGD.int, they were not playing around. They wanted to break the base there.
Yeah, I think it was okay because they wanted to force the issue, and our TK couldn't have pushed fast enough to deal any structural damage, so I think it's a good decision for him to come back and start the fight and contribute to his team. Even though it's only 1 kill, but it set back LGD's push for quite some time. I think they're gonna just wait for the next rush, push out all the lanes and go for the next rush before they try to breach high ground yet again.
So here's my question for you, Winter. Brax now has an Assault Cuirass. Yes, you have an Alchemist who, if this game goes late enough, can potentially outcarry, well, not a Lone Druid when he's 12 slotted, but when he's 6 slotted, he certainly can. If Lone Druid gets the 12 slots, maybe not.
No one outcarries.
Oh, they'll find G. They'll get the stun off. A beautiful silence from RTK, but they need some more follow-up. G, he'll drop. And now DK starting to find some kills, getting active on the map with the Shadow Blade on Burning, the Orchid on the Queen of Pain for RTK, and it's not really safe for LGD.int to be off on their own. It's not safe for G anymore. Until he gets something like a Yule Scepter, they have to stick together, or they have to know that the Queen of Pain, the Alchemist combo aren't coming. Great movement from DK. But here comes the push top. Soul Catcher on the bear. We'll bring it quickly down into low HP. It will force out a resummon, and it doesn't even matter that it has the Assault Cuirass. Look how quickly it dropped there. That is scary. This is a Lone Druid who's had all the farm in the world, all the items he wants in the world, has gone for the tankiest possible build on your bear. The early armlet into the Assault Cuirass, not going for anything like a Radiance first. And still, with Soul Catcher there alone and some auto attacks and tower shots, the bear loses a good quarter of its HP in like 2 seconds.
It was a level 2 Soul Catcher, LD. It's not a level 4 Soul Catcher.
It's not even maxed. That's insane. That's scary. I am actually... And looking at the gold graph, the Greevil's Greed is starting to kick in now. Look at Burning's farm accelerate. Only a 4k gold deficit at Winter. They're down by 4 towers right now. They're down by 4 towers, and they're not even... They're down by 4k gold. Also, LGD.int got Roche, so when you really factor it in, Burning is by himself pretty much out-farming the entire LGD.int team. Well, RTK's actually got a decent amount of CS, but it's really the Greevil's Greed keeping DK in this game.
It could have been far, far closer if RTK hadn't died that much, and at least he would have at this point at least have another 20 or 30 more CS if he didn't die that much, and that would be even far more trouble for LGD.
Pycat, he's picked up a basher. He's had it for about 3 or 4 minutes now. Never got to mention that, but the bear will be Soul Catchered. It's dropping pretty quickly. They need that Acid Spray on top of it. The tower dropping low. Not going to fall just yet, but it will be denied in the end. It was 1 hit away from death. At LGD, they push in that middle lane. Roche is coming soon. Are they going to wait for it? They don't want to.
Look at the Keeper of the Light, how rich he is.
There's where additional gold is. Ghost Scepter and Force Staff. We'll see a Ghost Scepter from QQQ. A nice item to pick up versus LGD. We're primarily physical damage at that. The bear's working on the racks now. They have a glyph. They might have to blow it soon, but the Illuminate will kill off the Chen creeps. The bear, dropping low, still has a resummon. We may see him send it back to base and then the Roche attempt. I don't think LGD are going to go all the way.
I think they have to get a Monkey King bar on the bear as well. The Blinding Light is just not letting the bear touch the towers so easily.
Soul Catcher to kill it off quicker, the Blinding Light to slow it down from auto-attacking.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that they didn't build a Medallion. Medallion is very good in this situation.
By the way, guess who else has Assault Cuirass? 31 minutes in.
I know.
Shadow Blade, Battle Fury, Assault Cuirass. And he didn't max Greevil's Greed first. He has been coming to the fights. He's been applying pressure to the lanes. He hasn't been off on an island by any means. They will take over a Beastmaster Hawk. Nice little play by Misery. And now Roche will be much safer for them.
Yeah, they can take it pretty much with all the vision in the world. They can. I think DK will try to contest this.
Do you think they can? I guess they have Illuminate, so they can spam this pit. It's too late. Roche is already dead. Way too late.
It's dead.
It was dead in like 5 seconds there. Oh boy. Yeah. Can they defend this push, Winter? They have Glyph, and let's check for buybacks. Queen of Pain buyback, Beastmaster buyback, and no Alchemist buyback. Bernie will not have 2 lives in this fight. He went for the Assault Cuirass. Probably necessary, but if he dies, there's no Burning coming back.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I was looking at how can DK take the fight at the Roshan, and voila, the Roshan is gone in 5 seconds.
Yeah, me too. I was like, well, they want to contest. Oh, they have Illuminate. They can spam into the pit. Problem is, Roshan dies in literally 5 seconds flat.
Radiant's top tower
and LGD, they're smoked up. They're looking for an opening here. They'll spot out a Beastmaster Hawk. Maybe we'll see that one taken over. This could be a useful tool for breaking the base, getting that additional vision. But in the end, won't be spotted out, or at least won't be taken over. And LGD, looks like their smoke gank won't come. DK, generally a pretty strong defensive team, even though we've seen some slip-ups here and there this game. And they're holding on to the high ground right now. Can they defend this push? It's coming.
I think they need like a couple of buybacks to defend this push.
Yeah, they have to. They don't have one of Burning, though. That's the big one you'd really want to have right now. The orb will fly in. They won't commit just yet. But you know it's only going to take like 5 or 6 auto attacks from the bear, and suddenly a third, a fourth, even a half of your Axe's HP might be gone. And oh, by the way, that's assuming Pycat isn't hitting it as well, which he very well could be. They did give the Aegis to Pycat again. He's got an Abyssal Blade soon. Looks like they'll go push out top lane. They'll farm the DK jungle so that DK won't really be able to punish this too much. Just economic damage.
I can't stop looking at the Keeper of Light. He's so rich. Man, he's so rich as a support at 30 minutes.
Dias?
So darn rich.
Yeah, Dias pretty good at finding this farm as a support keeper of the lane. I've noticed that he tends to accrue a few more items.
You know, I was talking about only Queen of Pain can buy the Side of Wise. I'm having my doubts now.
Well, he's gonna need another 5-10 minutes for that, and he can't die. If he's got to die and buy back, that's gonna be costly. Everybody now has buyback though. During that window, when LGD.int waited, when they pushed out the lanes burning, he farmed up his buyback. Something to keep an eye on. But if they can force him to buy back, it might come as a victory. I do feel like LGD.int, they're losing a bit of steam here. They're not really confident they can break this base. They're worried about committing to it, and we see them constantly going to push out the lanes. It's not like they're out farming DK, because there's Greevil's Greed on the side of DK, and there's lots of heroes who can clear waves. Sure, LGD controls the map for now, but they're not turning that into a gold advantage.
Because they don't have a pipe yet, I think. That's why it's so difficult to go up the ground with all the spam. But I don't think they'll be building it. I think the better way for them to play out this situation is to do what they did at the start, was split them out of the map. Don't group as 5 to push up. It's gonna be very difficult.
1437 will rotate back towards the middle lane. Misery. If he wanted to build a pipe, he could get close to the Hood of Defiance now. He's like 600 gold or so off of that, but could not quite complete the pipe by any means. And even once they get the pipe, at the end of the day, it's going to die in just one Illuminate anyway.
Yeah, I don't think the ideal plan would be to get the pipe and just force out. I think speed pushing could be the better idea, but they are going to go anyways.
Or maybe even a BKB on some additional heroes, like your Leshrac. They'll go in with the Lycan ultimate now. He will be blinding lighted, then disrupted, but the bear... Oh, he got hit by the blinding light as well, and in comes a 4-hero silence. Where's the Dream Coil? He never dropped it in the midst of this. They get the rack slow, but they can't bring it down yet. Pycat burning, everybody melting. Burning still alive, 4 staffed away, still inside of coil range. That won't break. He's healing up. He's surviving. The bear is dying. Do they have the buyback for the bear, or the resummon for the bear? Looks like they don't. RTK gets a double. Now Misery to fall. 3 heroes dead. They bend, but they don't break, and now LGD on the run. Can they actually... Oh, Winter, they lost Aegis, they lost their Lycan again, they don't even get the racks at the end of the day, and look at the gold graph, a big plummet coming, and it's about to get a lot worse, because on the side of DK, they're getting tower gold off of this, they're getting map control off of this.
Did you see how Burning killed everyone when he had the inner beast there?
I honestly couldn't even tell what was going on in that fight, I'll be totally honest with you, between Acid Spray...
He was hitting the bear, and the bear was like, took only a few seconds to destroy the bear, the spirit bear. With so much items. Yeah, Soul Catcher, Inner Beast, all the items in the world. Sure, it's one carry, but it's one carry who's got a lot of backup on his side. They're gonna get 2 towers off of this. They might even get 3. No, they'll back. But now Burning farms a massive wave top. He didn't even have to buy back that fight. That's the crazy thing. LGD were not able to focus him down. They didn't have a Sight Device on their puck. They don't have an Abyssal Blade on their Lycan. There was too much cover. There was the Blinding Light, and there was so much damage, AoE spammage coming in. The Last Shot and Chen could barely help the carries deal damage. It was all the damage could only come from the Lone Jute and the Lycan. But the Lone Jute Spirit Bear died so fast that there was nothing else to do damage. And they even had the resummon, but by the time he could have resummoned it and gotten it back into the fight, 2 heroes were dead. So there was no point, and Brax wisely, I think, he just ran. Winter, one other thing worth mentioning is LGD.int. We talked about the lack of disables on DK. It's a concern for LGD.int too. They don't have a Sight Device on G. He might even be close to it had he not died a few times this game, but unfortunately he has, so he's only sitting on money for the Ultimate Orb, or maybe the Mystic Staff soon. And they don't have the Abyssal Blade on Pycat, who generally, dare I say, would have it, but this game just a little bit short of it. And without that crucial lockdown, I feel like they just don't have enough burst. And the other thing that was interesting in that fight is I believe, did G get silenced by the Puck Orchid? Because he jumped in, he dropped a 4 or 5 hero silence, but the Dream Coil came significantly later. So either he was silenced or he just chose not to use it, which would be rather strange to say the least, but that really messed them up. I feel like if the Dream Coil had hit there, that would have caught 4 or 5 heroes, and they might have been able to burst those supports down a bit sooner. Yeah, I didn't pay attention if it was the Orchid. I just knew that he just flew in and he silenced a lot of it, and Burning was almost dying, but the moment he got out of the stun, the from the last shot. He just started hitting on the Spirit Bear, and the Spirit Bear died so quickly because he was hitting so fast and so hard.
Look at that one fight. On the back of one fight, it's like a 7k gold swing. And that's not just the towers, it's not just the hero kills, it's the fact that Burning farms like 70 creeps or something. I mean, not that much, like 40 to 50 creeps. But it might as well be 70 to 100 with Grievel's Greed, and he's now sitting at 19k net worth, really pulling ahead of Pycat, and still significantly ahead of Brax. And at the end of the day, this may be a game where the supports, the utility heroes, are the heroes of this story if DK go on to win it, because Soul Catcher is destroying the bear, Blinding Light is making it unable to hit the tower because there's no MKB like you mentioned, which he didn't go for in the end. He'll go for the Basher. And on top of that, there's the Beastmaster between his Roar and Ender Beastar giving Burning a lot of additional damage. And it's an Alchemist.
He needs the Basher as well, but he needs a lot of... I think they have to take this super late game because they have 2 carries. They can't push up anymore, I think. They need to take things slowly. If they go and they die again, I think the game is over. And
Ender Beast is always great on a carry, but one specifically good thing with Alchemist worth mentioning is that because his base attack time is the lowest in the game when he's in Chemical Rage form, you can see 1 base attack time. Basically, the attack speed helps him even more than it would another hero, so he's going to attack even faster and faster than some other carry would because his base attack time inside of Chemical Rage is incredibly low. It's scary, and now Burning...
He just doesn't stop hitting. There's basically like no cooldown on his normal attack.
Just looking at him now, he's at 0.67 seconds per attack with no Inner Beast and not an ultimate.
Did he just buy a butterfly?
Oh, did he really? Or is it a Sanji? Or is it a Heaven's Halberd?
Heaven's Halberd. Okay.
So, this is a nice additional pickup for him because it means the bear will be. It's another way to stall, and I feel like DK are going to win the prolonged fights because the bear is just not going to last. The bear will die.
Yeah, Heaven's Halberd is very good against the Spirit Bear. If the Lycan is out of his BKB, it's also useful against him. Overall, it's a very good item because you don't see generally Lycan getting a Monkey King bar. So the evasion will be very, very helpful towards the 2 heroes. It's very good pickup by Burning.
And Burning, I'm sure he's seen the Basher on the bear at this point. It's been in the lanes quite a few times. They know Pycat was going to Abyssal Blade, so they know that an MKB is not coming on either hero anytime soon, and they're just getting lots of ways to basically stall the game with the bear. Between the disarm on the Heaven's Halberd, the Blinding Light, lots of ways to slow the fight. And then that's where the bear dies really quickly. Burning hits it 3 or 4 times, and with the Acid Spray there, with the Inner Beastar there, he hits it even faster at that, and the bear just melts. The bear dies once, LGD don't have to back, because if that bear isn't in the fight, there's no way they can take it. And they can't risk having no bear for 2 minutes.
LGD has a Hex already, and the Keeper of Light is also building another Hex. He's not far from it. He only needs a Void Stone, and he has his Hex.
DK, a team that has really been criticized, and I think fairly so, by their fans, by the community, for not executing, for not delivering on the promise of all these talented players, all these big names of the Chinese scene. They seem to be a very difficult matchup for LGD. Probably the most offensive team, if not the strongest turtling team, the team that's most inclined to turtle outside of LGD China at any rate. And, well, they gave LGD issues in the G League. So far, giving them issues in this game 1. Leading in terms of gold.
The ward spotted them smoking up, so I think they're gonna just stop their aggression, maybe.
Well, a wild Ursa warrior lurking in the trees, so the jig is up anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna just continue farming. I think if they they have to bring this to super late game for LGD. I don't think they can rush up the high ground anymore.
Burning has...
Even if they go late game, Lycan plus Lone Druid doesn't necessarily mean they'll be able to take down the Alchemist in Chemical Rage form and beat Inner Beast.
And also, he's got the Shadow Demon, so even if he gets low, if QQQ's there, well, guess what? He's just gonna turn the fight.
He has the best late game support.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, sure they don't have a Rubik, but as far as just keeping your carry healthy and your carry strong, this is pretty much the best.
Not to mention, you can create 2 more big fat alchemists. That's scary as well.
To be honest, the one nice thing for LGDN is item slots could really be a factor this game. Burning is running out of space. He can sell some items, he can flip things around a bit, but at the end of the day, he has to do all of their physical damage. The supports can build all the utility items they want, but LGDN have multiple damage dealers. So, if Burning ever dies, if LGDN ever farm their own hexes, and they're able to bring him down quickly enough, let's say the Shadow Demon gets picked off and can't... Even if he buys back and tries to rejoin the fight, if he gets there too late, they can deal with burning if it's 3 or 4 on 1. It's just in a 1v1 or in a 5v5, it's going to be hard.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. Maybe in another 20 or 30 minutes.
Right. And like you said, maybe it's where LGD, they got to take it late.
Super late. It's like 70 minutes left out late.
Guys, this is only game 1. If you're just tuning in, it's a best of 3 for the G1 League Season 5. We're currently locked in it in a deadweight struggle between the heavyweights from, from North America and Europe, now heading over to China to lend their talents to LGD. It's LGD International versus Team DK. Game 1, it looked like an easy win, or at least an easy start for LGD International. They won, I would say, all 3 lanes, pretty much. Even the bottom lane, G was getting a lot of levels, which all things considered isn't bad. They definitely won the middle lane. Brax really out-farming that solo mid Beastmaster of Supers on his low Druid. And then top lane, they got an early first blood on RTK's Queen of Pain. They push down the tier 1. They control the enemy jungle. They get up their core pushing items. The Blink Dagger on the Puck, the Mech on the Chen, the Vlads, the BKB, the Medallion on Pycat's Lycan, and the Armlet, the Maelstrom on the Lone Druid Bear on the side of Brax. And in spite of that great start, Winter, it was only at best, I think, like an 8k gold lead, and then it slipped down to a 5k gold lead. Then DK, they win a huge fight. They defend their base. The tower goes down mid, but the Rex, as you can see, mostly healed back up now. The wounds cleared over, and DK now in the lead as far as gold goes, only and dead even as far as experience goes. Still a wide open game, but a game where it feels like the momentum is on DK's side.
Yeah, I want to ask you, LD, do you think if this was something like my team did last time, Orange, we would have ran Necrobooks on the Lycan and the Puck and the Chen. We would have built 3 Necromonicans to breach the high ground. They have none.
And that's also really nice against the Keeper of the Light, because if he spams Illuminate and kills those Necrobooks,
he dies,
he's dead.
I think, instantly. He dies instantly.
It's really strong versus him. Burning, he's now picked up a Basher. He's going Abyssal Blade. And with the attack speed he has, he'll man-fight anyone. He will easily out-man-fight a Lycan with an Abyssal, unless he's Abyssal Bladed first. If the Lycan gets off his Abyssal Blade first, then maybe he can win the fight. But again, there's always disruption. And an Alchemist with an Abyssal has so much an Inner Beast on his side, it's not even close. The amount of attack speed he will have vastly outstrips that of the Lycanthrope. 0.65 when he's not in Chemical Rage. 0.65 seconds per attack. When he's in Chemical Rage and Inner Beast, it might even be, what, like 0.3? 0.4, it's going to be very low. So Bernie will win the man fight versus him. He'll win the man fight versus the bear. He'll just bash the bear to death. So if it comes down to a direct physical engagement, LGD cannot win that for a long time, if ever.
Yeah, Alchemist is like going to be that very scary in late game because of the base attack time. Man. His bash will be far more deadly than the Lycan's bash.
He'll get a lot more of them at that, and he's got room for a little bit of an inventory switch up here. Maybe we see him get rid of that Shadow Blade at some point. He's on 7k right now. He'll buy the Abyssal Blade first, but...
Oh, bot lane.
Yeah, a little bit of a clash here. They don't have Burning, but
they saw them walk past the ward, and they're gonna fight.
LG, they have position around Roshan. They see Burning top. They might be able to sneak it now. They're thinking about it. They're doing a little dewarding, but Burning already recalled into the fight. He'll rotate bottom. He'll farm this wave. I think he's got Abyssal Blade and buyback. LGD, they're baiting Roche. They're not committing.
He's gonna get his Abyssal right now.
Oh no. This is big. If he dies here, will he have buyback? Yes, he will. He'll have buyback, and Keeper of the Light can bring him back into the fight. And LGD, they have to expect that at this point. It's an Alchemist who's been farming for a good 10 minutes unopposed since the last fight. And they won't commit to an engagement just yet.
I don't think if the fight...
Oh, is he gonna sneak it? Is he gonna sneak it? The creep is here. If the creep wasn't there, dare I say it, Bernie just solos Roche.
There was also a Lycan Wolf hiding there.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous. Now there are more wolves. Wolves on boars. And there's all sorts of bestial things going on this game, Winter.
Do you consider Alchemist a beast?
He's a goblin, right? What's the one on top? It's like
here they go, the Roche.
They're going Roche. It's dropping quickly. Can DK win this fight? There will be an Aegis on Cheese on the side of LGD, I think, but they'll bring down that Gen. 2 hits, dead. 1437 dead. Both supports on the back lines to fall. Yes, they get Roche. They get Aegis. They get Cheese. But now they gotta fight their way out of this pit. Can they do it? The Wolf and the Goblin. It looks like the Goblin. It's not even close. He bashes Brax. He gets disrupted. The Bear will fall too. Insult to injury. 4 heroes dead. Triple buyback from LGDN. Quadruple buyback from LGDN. But it doesn't even matter. I don't think they can take a fight Wow, 4 buybacks, 4 heroes dead. They get Aegis, they get cheese. They do get out with both. That's the one thing going their way. But holy shit, Winter, that's an expensive Roshan.
The most expensive Roshan ever in the history of Dota.
And look at DK, they don't even care that there's an Aegis and cheese. They're gonna push right down mid. Oh, this is ballsy.
None of their heroes are scratched.
They're not even touching. Roar is available. There's an Aghanim Scepter. If anyone gets roared, Birdie, look at him. Just slapping away at that tower. Could be disrupted here. The bear with Soul Catcher and attack speed. It's 0.32 seconds per attack. He's bringing the tower down. Lycan comes in. They'll stun Birdie once. He will be disrupted. The Abyssal Blade already used. Now the turnaround comes. Watch Pycatcher out. That little wolf. No match for Big Red Riding Hood here. The bear will fall as well. Birdie's on a rampage. Burning is unstoppable, and Pycat, no ultimate form, no way out. One hit, he'll be dead. Pycat will fall. That's GG. No buyback. Well, he's the last one to have it, but I just don't think there's any fighting into this anymore. They have the cheese. They can give it to Pycat. They've lost one lane of Rex. DK absolutely smashing through LGD after a horrendous start to the laning stage. They're going for the throne. They're going for the GG, and LGD.int, they'll fight on, Winter, but it looks unstoppable.
I don't think they can fight already. Look at the Alchemist, man. Look at the Alchemist.
Look at this freaking Alchemist! Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Get your eyes checked if you're not. Misery. 2 hits and a stun. He'll die. Now onto Pycat. A roar. Some auto attacks. Down he'll go. No buyback for him. And the GGs come out. DK. What a ridiculous Alchemist. Holy crap. Holy shit. Unbelievable. DK, I mean, talk about an awful start. You can't say it was a perfect game by any means, but it was a burning game, and it was an Alchemist game, and in the end, Winter, it was enough. They take game 1.
It's like seeing an anti-mage with Grievous Greed. Every time I see Burning only play anti-mage, now he has even an extra farming tool.
He maxed
If you give someone who doesn't miss last hits Grievous Greed, you see what happens.
He even maxed. It's funny because he didn't even max Grievous Greed first. He didn't rush a Midas. He didn't even rush the Battle Fury. He got Treads first. He got some other utility items first. This isn't even the fastest you could farm on Alchemist. He joined the fights. He built a Shadow Blade. He was not solely farming, but it was enough. Birdie created enough space for his Queen of Pain. He was there often enough pushing out the lanes, joining the fights. The DK were able to hang on in this game, but really, I feel like there were some mistakes from LGD, things that you talked about. The MKB, if it had been there on the bear in the first push, Blinding Light would have not have slowed it down. And at that point, DK didn't have that much damage, but by the time they started to sort of adjust their items or even think about it, it was too late. This was a game where they had to make it work on the first push. And when they did it, there was no coming back.
Because Park was so poor, she didn't have any items to support the team. No hacks, no necrobook, nothing.
And Jeet, he died a few times. I don't know if I would necessarily say it was entirely his fault. I mean, his role wasn't really to be a huge force for this team. Jump in, drop your Dream Coil. It seemed like it would be enough. But without the MKB on the Lone Druid Bear, it was too easy for DK to slow the siege. And in the end, DK, they take an absolute whopper of a game number 1. What a ridiculous start to this best of 3.
Yeah.
LGD.int, I still gotta say, their laning stage was good. They just have to close the deal in the late game.
The Keeper of the Light actually has a hex. I didn't even see that.
I don't even know if it would have mattered. Bernie was a walking permanent hex army in his own right with his chain bashing at that, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to have that hex to keep it light. Guys, this is game 1 in a best of 3. It's DK versus LGD, and it's a fight to the finish, a fight to the death. The loser goes home, and they will be ever so close, yet oh so far from the grand finals of the G1 League, the LAN finals, where there will be an absolute metric ton of cash to be awarded to the champions, to the winners. Right now, whoever wins this series will be facing against Zenith, and the winner of that, they move on to the LAN finals. But before we get there, we got to find out who that winner will be. Will it be LGD.int, who dropped this game 1, but looked strong in the laning phase in doing so, or will it be DK, the bend but don't break team, who seemed to find a way to scratch and claw their way to victory here? We'll find out next. Game 2 coming up right after this.